I'm Scott. Welcome to Tink. In this video, we will show you how to set up permanent users within Tink. Please note that this tutorial video assumes that you've already made your first API call and understand the basics of Tink. So, what is a permanent user? Once a user gives you consent to fetch their data from their bank account, you have two routes into how to use their data. Firstly, you could simply create a temporary user which creates a snapshot of their data, and each time a customer wants to get new data into your application or service, they would have to re-authenticate manually. Data in this way is stored temporarily on Tink's servers and automatically deleted after 24 hours. This is the default behavior. Secondly, you can create a user ID that does not expire, i.e. a permanent user. A permanent user is one that is not deleted after the initial 24 hours. Being permanent means that we can make use of a feature called background refreshes when the user is authenticated. This allows us to automatically refresh credentials attached to the account to get updated data. You would do this because it can become troublesome for users to have to constantly submit authentications to get their bank data updated manually. So with this feature, we allow users to take advantage of the 90 days authentication from banks with PSD2 to keep data fresh during this time period. To begin with, once you've had permanent users enabled on your account, all users will be flagged as permanent within Tink. So let's do this. Let's create a user to begin with. First, we need to create a client credential request, which will be used to both create a user and delegate to Tink later on. Using the code on the screen, I've entered my client ID, my client secret, and then I just press enter. I've now been given an access token. This access token will allow us to use the next step. We simply take this token and replace it in the code above, and I've now created a user ID. In this request, I've also added a locale and market for this specific user. In the next stage, we need to create an authorization request so that we can get access to our access tokens and refresh tokens for this user. We also set the scopes at this stage that we want our created user to have. We need to take the bearer token from before and this user ID that I've just created. Finally, we use the code that we received from the last API call, along with our client ID and client secret, to get our access tokens and refresh tokens for this user. We take this code, along with our client ID and client secret, and we've now been given an access token and refresh token pair. Now we've created our user with the API. We've received our user ID and access tokens. We can now attach a credential to the user by delegating to Tink Link. To do this, we would need to delegate access to Tink's internal client ID so that we can use the Web SDK to further administrate the user. We'll be using the same bearer token we got from our first API call when we requested our client credentials, along with the user ID that we got from our user earlier. At this stage, we can also give a name to our user to recognize him. Feel free to use an email address or anything that helps your user know it's them. I will use the name Fred for demonstration purposes. After submitting this request, I get given a code. The next steps are to use this code within Tink Link on the Web SDK. If we want to add a new credential to our user, we would use this URL and add in our client ID as well. In this example, I'm also using the parameter test equals true to use our test banks. During this stage, Fred will see that he's accessing a specific bank along with his user ID. he now enters his details. At this stage, I have been given a credentials ID just in case anything went wrong, but otherwise the credentials should be attached to the user's account. In our application, we should be storing the user's user ID, access token, and refresh token. You can couple this with any app-related data that you may need, for example, username, email address, or whatever else they may have used when using your application. We're technically done at this point. We have our permanent user set with a credential attached to him. However, in the future, we may wish to add extra credentials to this user, refresh their credentials, or authenticate an expired credential. To do this, we would need to delegate access to Tink's internal client ID again. Once we have a code, we visit our Tink link again with the new code and add another bank. I'll now demonstrate. First, I run the delegate request, exactly the same as before. If needed, I would refresh the authorization bearer code. In this instance, because I've just done it, my bearer code is still active, so I can take this code and put it into the Tink link. With this new code, I can now access Tink link once more and select a different bank. In the same way before, Fred gets informed about which bank is being added and his details. Once this step is completed, we've successfully added our second bank. Our user should now look like this. He has the same user ID, and we can access his data by using the same access token and refresh token as before. But he now has an array of 2 different credentials. We can confirm this by calling the accounts list endpoint. First, we would take the bearer token that we got from the authorization request. In this instance, it would be saved in your application. And then simply make a call to the accounts list endpoint with the authorization bearer code for this user. If the access token has expired, you can simply refresh it using the refresh token instead. Here you can see the list of the user's bank account details. Here is one, and another one, and so on. Since this user is permanent within Tink, these credentials will exist on his account until the user requests their right to be forgotten under GDPR regulations, or a significant amount of inactivity passes and we are no longer allowed to store Fred's data under the same regulations. Using PSD2 authenticated banks, we can set up an authentication for this user that's valid for 90 days without the user's input. If we enable background refreshes for your client ID, 4 times per day we can get new data from the authenticated bank and update it on our system so that the next time you call the user's data from the API, it will be relatively fresh and your user can access data on your app and see new activity for the entire time that they're authenticated. Thank you for watching. If you need any further assistance, please feel free to reach out to our support.